I can kind of give you just a general idea of it. So let's say you're already working at a hospital somewhere. They sponsor you to go get certified. You go, you take the classes, you take the tests, you pass your projects, and then you're certified now, right? And then ideally, I guess what you want to do is after you have some experience working in the hospital and you're good and very familiar with Epic or good enough to become a consultant, you would start to have interviews with recruiters and update your LinkedIn. So what I think I did, or what a lot of people do, is that they'll update their LinkedIn profile, put their certifications on there, share some of their experiences on their on what they do in Epic, and then if there's a opening, a recruiter will reach out to you. Usually the recruiter will reach out to you and they say, hey, I'm looking for, I don't know, something like ambulatory or inpatient or beaker for lab. It's a 3-month contract, 6-month contract. They're looking to do, whatever specific project they're looking to do. And then they'll ask the person, like, is this a good fit for you? Is this something you're interested in? And then it just, if you are interested in it, you say, yeah. They submit your resume to the company or to the hospital. If the hospital feels like they want to move forward with you, they'll tell the recruiter, hey, I like this resume. Let's get him an interview. You'll typically have a phone interview. And then after one phone interview, they'll tell you, yes, let's move forward, or no, they won't. So if they say, yeah, let's move forward, you guys have a start date. And then that's pretty much it. You're a consultant. So for me, I was at the hospital for a while. I put up my experiences, I put up my certifications, and then recruiters reached out to me. They said, hey, I have a project for a brand new Epic install. It's going to be 2 years. It's going to be located in this state. Just about anything that can give you like an idea to see if you're interested or not. And then I said, yeah, let's submit my resume over there. And then he contacted me back, I think like a few days later or a week later, and said, hey, can you do an interview this Friday at 2 o'clock or something? And then we got on the phone, had our interview. And then about an hour later, my recruiter calls me and says, hey, they'd like to move forward with you. Can you start on this date? And I said, yeah, sure, let's start on that day. I handed in my resignation, started my new job as a consultant. And that was it. I think it's more realistic that if you are newer and
Hmm.
you are maybe more desperate, you might settle for the 65 range, right? Just because of like supply and demand economics. But if you have a whole lot of season, and you have very unique skill sets that are hard to find after, you can probably have more of a leverage or more of a negotiating chip to say like, no, I want, 95 an hour. And then places might be more willing to do it because it's just so hard to find someone with that type of skill set. And then it's really up to the hospital. Like, you might be the only person in the world with a certain set of skill set. And if their budget is 200K, that's their budget. Like you're not getting 400K. Like that's that. So those are all the factors in play. But I think generally, you know, 70, $80 is something that I see to be very common. I think I've heard it can go up there. It could be 60 to 100. I've heard of those ranges. I think lately, as the demand is lower, it's more so been 80s, I guess, maybe 70s. So that will probably put you at like 150, 160 um, a year. So yeah, if you go and work for a consulting firm full time for them, where like you never have to worry about not having a job like Deloitte or KPMG or Accenture or something, you're probably not going to make the $100 an hour. Like that makes you have a salary of 200K, and I think for the most part, I haven't heard that from them. It's a trade off though. You're as a consultant, you're most likely not going to have your vacation package, right, or your healthcare package. So let's say that you currently make 100K, you're at $48 an hour, and then consulting is, I don't know, let's say $100 an hour, and you're at 200K a year. So the difference is about 100K between FTE to consulting in that example. And then you take a look at what you're trading off from the FTE world, because there's a lot of benefits that you're giving away, like healthcare, vacation time, sick time, etc. Right? And then you kind of have to just make the judgment call, like, hey, are you willing to trade away these benefits for this much more money? And then you say yes or no, and you'll go on and decide to take the contract or go into consulting or not. I don't know if you absolutely need to have that third party, but from my understanding, the way a lot of hospitals work is that they already have vendors that they work with, um, and then the vendors will submit their candidates. So, for example, let's say that you're a manager on the ambulatory team and you have a need to bring in 4 consultants because of whatever projects you have going on, right? The manager will typically ask the director, like, how do we bring consultants in here? And then they'll say, create a job posting. And then here are the approved vendors that we work with. When they see this job posting, they will submit resumes and they'll be in touch with you to say, what are you looking for? And they'll let you know, hey, these are the resumes that we have that might fit your need. And then you go and choose from those vendors that resume and then set up the interview. So yeah, in a sense, you almost have to always work with someone, just because like that's kind of how the industry is set up right now. The hospitals have vendors that they like to work with, but I think there are some hospitals or some departments that have their own budget that have the ability to say, like, we're going to go and hire our own. So I've been at places where they say, like, actually, why don't we keep in touch? If we have future projects, we can hire you, with our own department, instead of going through like the IT's vendor department. And then just to clarify, I think the main difference between a consultant and employee who gets hired directly by the hospital is just your type of employment, right? Like, so W-2 employees hired by the hospital, you're a full-time staff for that hospital. If you're W-2 employee for a firm, and then the firm puts you at that place, you're a consultant. So a firm will tell me that, hey, I'm going to hire you as a W-2. You're going to work here at this hospital. This contract is for, 3 months. So yeah, I'm like a consultant, but I'm a full-time employee of that firm for 3 months. So the difference is like your length of job expectations are shorter, and it's really like the employment status. And then you can also do 1099s, which I see it on the list here that we'll talk about it. But that's just kind of like the two distinguishes from a consultant to a full-time employee.
Like, subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more of this type of content.